Hi everyone, welcome back to JoanneTechLover. I'm Joanne, and today I'll be going over this Genius GX Gaming Heela gaming mouse. It's spelled with a G. I want to call it Gila or Gila, but it's Heela. Here's everything that comes in the box. We'll start off with the documentation first. So you get 2 of these install guides, as well as a driver CD, or software CD, yes. But I would definitely recommend getting the software online, as you could get the most updated version there. And they've also included for you some extra gliding feet for the bottom of your mouse. That's always nice to have. And what is in this? I actually like this. It is a plastic case with a scorpion on it. And on the inside, let me see, I should be able to just open this. There we go. On the inside, you get 6 weights. These are 4.5 gram weights, and I love that they give you a storage for it. So I'm gonna go ahead and take these out and place them inside the mouse later. So there you have it, and you get this like foam padding as well. Very nice, Heela, very nice. I mean, genius. You don't want to hear genius, I just want to say, that's genius. I don't know why, but that makes me laugh. Okay, now onto the cable of the mouse. This is a braided cable, as you can tell, and I like that it's all black. I actually don't like it when it's kind of got the snake pattern on it, like black with some red dots or whatnot. I just like more stealth products. And I believe this is gold-plated to help with corrosion and prevent it, and I believe it's USB 2.0. And as to the length of this is 1.8 meters or 5.9 feet, and I love that they have included a Velcro tie with it, and they don't have it for every mouse. Here's a closer look at the mouse, and let's go over the design first, as that is always very interesting to see if it's very ergonomic or not. And when I place my hands on there, and I do have smaller hands, it is a bit awkward with the spacing. Like, I feel like my 4th finger is way too far away from my 3rd finger, and it just doesn't feel as comfortable. But for other people, this might be just perfect for you. So this is just my personal preference. And it is, it's not too big. I can reach the buttons just fine, which is perfect. And you get this kind of plastic matte finish here at the front and rubberized texture grips on the side. And this isn't the sandpaper kind of rough rubber, this is more soft, and this is so you can get a better grip for when you're gaming or sweating, and it also doesn't track so many fingerprints. The buttons are of course glossy, and you get a total of, they say 12 programmable, but I think it's actually 14, and I'll show you why. But they probably mean the actual buttons that you see, not like the typical buttons that you have. So I'm going to go over your button setup. On the side, of course, you have your forward, backward. These are 2 buttons here. That's just on default. And then another 2 here. That makes 4. Another 3 here. 5, 6, 7. And this little running man here on default is your DPI shift. You will know which DPI you're on by the indicator here, but there's also this on-screen display feature that is pretty cool. So you'll be able to see it on your monitor. And then, so that's 7, and then 8, 9 to the right side, and then 10, 11, 12 on the scroll wheel, because you can click it, or you can scroll up, scroll down for a command. And then where are the last 2? Well, then you have your left and right clicks. You have to have a left click, but since you can program it anywhere, I would call it 14 programmable and or 13 as the left and right clicks. Let's take a look at the bottom of the mouse. You do get these gliding feet here. Remember, if they were out, you do get a replacement set. And over here is your 8200 DPI laser sensor. That is so high, but I think some people actually make use of it because of the resolution monitors they have and the number of monitors that they have. Now here on the bottom, there's this little button that you push, and then this is the area where you put the weights. And I have to say, I don't really like my mice to be super weighted or anything, but even with the weights in this mouse, it's actually not too bad. I feel like it's distributed very well, and I don't mind it. Although I would probably take out the weights if I were playing an FPS or a game that requires lots of movement and I don't want fatigue on my hands. So let's go ahead and place this baby in there, and then just click it closed, and there you have it, a heavier mouse. Here's a look with the mouse plugged in so I can show you the LEDs, and I made it JTL colors. So you got some, I think, purple here, and then some gray here on the bottom. Oh, look at that, I got it breathing too. And then on this edge, it's got some of that pink Yeah. Although the LEDs here, I have to admit, they're not as clear like which color they are than they are in the front two areas. But that's it, a look at the LED. Here's a look at the Genius Heela software for the mouse. And we are going to start off at the light options. I made these JoanneTechLover colors because it's awesome. And so down here are your profiles. So just click on them to go to the separate profiles. And you can see that it's RGB, red, green, and blue for all the profiles that you have not changed. So let's go to profile 2 and change it up. So just kind of go here and then you, what color do we want? Maybe orange? Orange works, okay. And then you just make sure the red indicator is highlighted. And then orange, ooh, maybe yellow, yes. And then down here, we're going to make it a, gosh, these are quite disgusting colors. Okay, but let's just keep it these colors and make sure to hit apply every time you make a change or it will not save to the mouse. I'm going to go ahead and hit apply. And remember, you do get 32 kilobytes of onboard memory so that you can go ahead and store all 6 profiles on your mouse via the buttons. And you can also change the lighting intensity to high or off, completely off. And then pulsation, slow, steady, or fast. You know, I tried both slow and fast and it was kind of similar. The fast wasn't really all that quick, but just my experience with this. Now, you could also load a profile, existing profile, or save current profile. And, oh, this is cool, OSD. If you enable it with it checked, you'll see when you change the DPI, for example, you see in this right corners, it'll show you which DPI setting you are on. And that is quite helpful. Although it would have been nice if it also showed you exactly which DPI it was, like, for example, 2400 DPI or something like that. Now let's go ahead and go to the advanced setting. And here's where you can change the mouse speed. Just go ahead and just click to the area that you want, but we're going to just keep it here. The double click speed, the scroll speed, this is like when you are on a web page or, you know, and the like, and you want to scroll the page faster or slower. I like to keep it around 6. That's very comfortable for me. Now, as to the sensitivity, you can also enable advanced sensitivity. Oh, check that out. And polling rate, 500 Hertz to 1000 Hertz if your PC can stand it. And also DPI settings. Right now, this is just the current stage. But if you want to do it for all 6 of your profiles, you go ahead and just click into this and then you just change it here. But I kind of want to keep it at 800. Because I already did this a little earlier, and I think that that's a pretty decent sniping sensitivity right there. Or 400 if you want to go lower than that. And 800, 2800, you know, I prefer it to be, you know, 2400. That is actually the most comfortable for me. I wish this was just a little easier to do. I wish I could just type out the numbers. That would be much easier. And then sniping, let's take it down to 400, shall we? And 3000. These are just the settings that I like. Maybe let's make it 5000 and we're good. And then highest 8200 DPI. That is insane. Okay, and you could also enable XY independently. So change, let's say this one you want 3800 and that one you want to keep at 5000, and yeah, there it is. And then you just hit OK, and remember to apply all changes to your mouse so that it will be saved on there. Alrighty, just taking a little while to load. Okay, good. And that about covers it. Oh, one more thing is the lift up distance. So you could, they do it by levels, but it's really just how high, you know, you can lift your mouse so that it still registers and all that. Okay, so let's go out of there. I think this is just perfectly fine anywhere like in the, around the center or something like that. And then in the manage macro, I already made 2, so you can see it here. But if you want to make a new macro, oh, and you can also set delay. Delay is very important, so this mouse could be good for both MMO as well as like FPS, you know, RTS games. Alrighty, and I like to do 500 milliseconds, but maybe you want to do like 100 or something. You just need to highlight it. Okay, my num lock is off, obviously. and then just type it in and boom, there you go. And then, or you could insert, ignore delays between events during recording and insert default delay. There's also basic commands you could add. And you just click new. And then let's call this one, you know, it's interesting, the name. I believe it's pronounced Heela, but I want to just create a macro called Heela. Okay, and then you just record. And then this has to flash. And you just record Heela, then stop, and then it is saved. So there is Heela. Now let's put that into action. So we're on the second profile, and I'm going to go to assign buttons. So here you'll notice that the left click, obviously, you know, you have to have at least one function that's left click, but I believe there are like 13 completely programmable ones, and it's so great that you can scroll up and down for certain functions. That is just, it's super fast, super easy for those of you who are, you know, playing more like FPS style games. It's just easy to like melee somebody. Just like scroll up, oh, there you go. I don't have to look for the button. We want to assign, which button? Let's say Windows 5. That's usually just forward, backward buttons, but we are going to assign the macro. But just so you can see, the mouse function, you could assign those, Office function, Windows functions, media functions. It's just great to have all of these options. Single key, let's say you want to do like 5 or something, or even Q or something like that, and you just press OK, and there it is. And just remember to hit apply, but we're not going to do that. You could also change it to your DPI switch. If you're like, I kind of want my DPI switch on my thumb panel, then go ahead and try that out. Also, fire key, this one's interesting, 3 times, 5 times, or you can define it. I mean, this is not something I generally see on mice, so this is kind of a cool option. Launch a program, instant button. So you'll notice that there's profile 1 to 6 and profile 1 to 6 below that too. So instant button is if you were to hold down that button with that profile function, and then you'll be in that profile. But if you get out of that, like if you release the button, you will be back to your original profile. But if you set it as a specific profile, then if you press that button, you will be in that profile for good until you press out, like using a different key. And then you could just have disabled button, or they call it button off. And let's go to macro. So we are going to go to the one that we have made, okay? And oh, by the way, you could just repeat the number of times, let's say 5 or something like that. And then always repeat or press to repeat, but we're just gonna say okay, and then go ahead and apply this. And then we're going to bring up this notepad, and it is this button. So Heela. And I'm not pressing it anymore, it's just repeating. So cool. Okay, and then so there's that. And if you want to see this instant profile change, so if I press the instant profile 1, I will go to profile 1, and then if I release that button, I'll be back to profile 2. Now if I hit the button for profile 3 and release the button, I am still in profile 3, as you can see. But we're going to go back to profile 1. And then I kind of want to show you how cool these scroll buttons are. So let's say I do 3 and 4. I have already done the key bindings for that. So I'm going to delete, see, 3, 4, 4, 3, 4. Yay! Yeah. So basically, I mean, it's just more button functions for you without having like 2 additional buttons to the side of it or something like that. And that is a look at how to assign macros, other button functions, how to do profile, and I believe that covers it. Yeah. Let's take a look at the pros and cons. So what do I like about this? First of all, price point. It is under $60 for all these features. It's actually pretty amazing. So what do you get? You get LEDs on 3 parts of the mouse. It's RGB. You could calibrate it to the colors that you want, as well as you also get 12 to 14 fully programmable buttons, assign macros, key functions. You can get it to repeat. There's like a special fire function, 3 to 5 times. Anyway, it's just amazing. All covered in the software, as well as the rubber side. The grips are nice. They actually are. They're soft. They're textured, and it's not really too fingerprint prone. Now let's move on to the cons. What I don't like about it is this design is actually a little bit uncomfortable for me, but that might be because I have these itty bitty little hands. If you have bigger hands, maybe your fourth finger just falls off to the side easier. And also wish the LEDs in the back here would reflect more of the true color that I set to it instead of kind of this grayish, whitish, and then that color. And would have liked the LEDs to be brighter as well. But you know, it all goes back to like price point. I mean, I'm sure they can put in much better LEDs if it were like more expensive. For the mouse itself, it's great. And also these buttons on the sides, you could probably set those to your profiles, and maybe they're just slightly more difficult to reach if you wanted to quickly get to them. But otherwise, you know, I believe it's a solid overall mouse for under 60 bucks. That wraps it up for this overview and unboxing of this Genius GX Gaming Heela gaming mouse. And I hope you like what you saw, and if you did, go ahead and hit the like, comment, and subscribe buttons, as well as follow me on social media, JoanneTechLover Facebook fan page, JoanneFoodLover Twitter, and twitch.tv/Welltune, where I game stream with Tim weekly. And also, please don't forget to donate so it can help expand this channel and feed this techie. And one more thing is that check out storeenvy.com for my 8.5 by 11 inch autograph prints that you can just buy all of them. Alrighty, I guess all that's left to say is see you next time.